Welcome to Members First, the Toastmasters District 69 podcast. Here is your host, District Director Barbara Nielsen.
Welcome everyone to our latest Members First conversation. I have two wonderful guests here with me today, Taryn and Lisa, and they're going to talk to us about their experiences with Toastmasters and how it helps them with their daily lives and their employment. So welcome, Taryn and Lisa.
Hi.
My first question is going to go to Taryn. Taryn, how long have you been a Toastmaster and why did you join?
So I've been a Toastmaster for nearly 3 years now. So I started at the end of 2017. And the reason that I actually started Toastmasters was I had a coaching session with my director at the time. And he said that he could see how much potential that I had and that I could be a leader in the agency. However, something that was holding me back was how shy I was in meetings. So quite often I had lots of ideas to share and lots of things to, I guess, add value, but I never communicated it due to just being so nervous speaking in front of a group of people. So he suggested Toastmasters to me and I had heard the name of it, but I didn't really know that much about it. So I did a bit of research about it and then actually decided to start one within our workplace. And the reason that I did that rather than joining a community club was that I thought that there might be other people at work who were going through a similar thing as me and we could go on the journey together. And yeah, definitely haven't looked back. It's been such an amazing journey.
That's wonderful, Taryn. And Lisa, what about you? So how long have you been a Toastmaster and why did you join?
So I joined Toastmasters in March 2018, so just after Taryn had started Toastmasters. So I wasn't a very shy speaker, so I could talk under cement, as some of my friends like to say. However, I struggled with structuring speeches and really engaging an audience, really influencing an audience. So I joined Toastmasters when my friend, I'm just going to say it, forced me to come along one day, forced me to go through the impromptu table topic speech, which was probably one of the scariest things I had ever endeavored. And I got so nervous, I told everyone I killed my fish when I was 5 years old. So I realized at that point that I could talk to people really easily, but I couldn't influence or structure a speech really well. So that's the reason why I joined Toastmasters and why I continue to stay in Toastmasters.
That's wonderful. And I'm sure you're seeing dividends from that and that the fish...
Absolutely.
the fish will be okay. Now, I know that you both work for the same employer. Does your employer encourage your participation in Toastmasters and why? Lisa, I'll ask you first.
Absolutely. I think Taryn needed to get endorsement actually from our employer to start Toastmasters. So our sponsorship and our endorsement came pretty much from the top. So our employer was really encouraging, and at the moment my employer is very encouraging and letting me join to be a part of Toastmasters every single week. We talk a lot at work, not only with our customers but with each other. So Toastmasters is a great tool that we all use to really ensure that we're confident in getting our message across. So yeah, 100% employers definitely encouraging everyone within our club to join and be a part of it.
That's great. Did you have anything to add to that question, Taryn?
The only thing I would add is I think the reason that they have been so supportive is just the fact that everyone that joins gets the opportunity to improve communication skills and also leadership. So a lot of people who have joined our club have now fallen into leadership roles. So I think the benefits that Toastmasters has is why they're so supportive.
Mm-hmm. You did talk to me a little bit about interviewing skills. Would you like to talk about that?
Is that for me?
Yes, Taryn. Yeah.
So definitely the interview skills that we've learned. So we've done a lot of practicing in our club. So we've put each other on the spot, sort of like a table topics session, but with interview questions that we may potentially be asked. And that's definitely helped, especially for people like myself who get extremely nervous with that sort of thing. I've actually had a few promotions from that, and I don't know if I would have had the same opportunities if I didn't practice so much in front of the group. Because, I didn't used to interview very well at all. I would just get really, really nervous, whereas now I'm much more confident and go in and just know that, I can communicate and it's fine. So, it definitely helped with that.
That's excellent. Now, I'm sure that Toastmasters is not your whole life away from work. Lisa, what other interests do you have away from work and away from Toastmasters?
Oh, I don't know. Toastmasters in my whole life, Barbara. What do you mean? No, so I, away from Toastmasters and away from work, family is quite a big thing for me. So I spend, obviously with the current situation at the moment, I live a little bit of a distance away from my family. So whenever I get to see them, I see them all the time. Friends, absolutely. And at the moment, I'm going to the gym 4 times a week, which is basically my favorite thing to do every morning. So it's basically family, friends, gym, work are my things that I like to do.
That's great. Taryn, what do you do away from work and away from Toastmasters?
So similar to Lisa as well, my family and my friends mean everything to me, so I spend a lot of time with them. I also love to travel, which obviously at the moment overseas isn't really an option for a little while, but we're trying to see as many places as we can locally, and just getting outside, being in nature, going walking and hiking and a little bit of running as well.
It's amazing what we can find to do in spite of the COVID restrictions, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. And bushwalking or walking on the tracks, you can do that on your own or in a small group.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Toastmasters now. Taryn, what do you enjoy most about Toastmasters?
So for me, I think it's the feedback that we get during the evaluation sections of the meeting. So this is something that previously I don't think I really ever got that much feedback, at least not as regularly anyway. So when I look back to my first meeting, which was the first one for the whole club, I actually did a speech which I think lasted about a minute or something, and I felt sick to my stomach. I felt incredibly anxious, hardly slept the night before. I thought that I was visibly shaking and that my face was bright red, but then the feedback that I got was that I appeared to be calm and confident. So I think not only getting feedback on the things that you can improve on, actually getting that feedback on the things that I already have a strength in, which I was completely unaware and thought the opposite of. I think that helped to boost my confidence, but then, the other feedback that I get helps to continue to grow and learn and get better. So I think, the feedback is just invaluable.
And it's actually an amazing skill that you need to develop if you're going to go into leadership in your employment, isn't it? The ability to give constructive feedback is so important, as well as receiving it. So Lisa, what do you enjoy most about Toastmasters?
Well, the last couple of years I've been a club officer. So my favorite thing is actually watching my new team members or my new club members come out of their shell and really grow as speakers and as leaders. So you'll see them at the beginning when they first join. They're afraid, they're scared, they stand behind their chairs, they shake. But then as months and months and months go on, you see them get so much more confident. They finally look at the screen, or they finally look you in the eye, and then you hear how they're going with their employer and how they're being a lot more confident during team meetings or during other speeches they have to do outside of Toastmasters. I thoroughly enjoy watching people grow in their journey through Toastmasters if it's just their confidence level. So that's definitely my favorite thing, being a club officer and also being a club member.
I'm going to go back to your employment a little bit now. So Lisa, how has Toastmasters helped you in your own personal employment career?
Kind of touching on what Taryn said a bit earlier with interview questions. So I actually did a couple of interviews a few weeks ago for some roles, and before I went into it, I thought I was going to be nervous. But for some reason, as soon as I got into the interview questions, they asked me the questions. It's like Toastmasters clicked in the back of my head, and I just had this calmness come over me. And I was like, I could answer those questions easily. So before I started Toastmasters, like I said, I was a confident speaker, but I didn't know how to influence people and keep my structured sentences and speeches to a limit and succinct. But now I know when I get into an interview, just get the question, calm down. Like all those things that you have in Toastmasters just kick in, that prep kicks in, and you just feel calmer. And I feel calmer when I'm doing interviews now. When I go to my job interviews, I just feel a lot more calmer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. No, that's wonderful. Do you have anything to add to that, Taryn? So how Toastmasters, you've touched on it a bit already, but anything else where Toastmasters has helped you in your career?
Yeah, so for me, as I mentioned, I used to avoid speaking up in meetings if I didn't have to, whereas now I run workshops, I facilitate various meetings, I get up and stand up in front of the whole branch and present different things. And that's something that previously, if anyone asked me, I would just sort of say a no straight up. Whereas now, even though I'm still nervous, I will get up and I'll do it anyway and push through that fear. So I think, again, just the confidence that it's sort of helped me grow, that's something that has really helped me at work, and then also helped with mentoring other people at work through the same thing. And just the leadership skills that we gain. Because like Lisa, I've been in club officer roles as well. That's another opportunity that I've had to sort of lead a group of people and just do different things that I didn't previously get to do.
No, that's wonderful. And one more, Taryn, what advice would you give to someone who's considering whether or not to join Toastmasters?
So my advice would be, if you've been thinking about it for a while, just jump in, give it a go, take that leap and just do it. It's honestly been one of the best things that I've personally ever done. The team that we have are incredibly supportive, and a lot of people throughout the whole Toastmasters network have been just incredibly supportive, and I just could not recommend it enough. No matter what your reason is for joining it, you'll get something out of it, and everyone is there to better themselves and just help each other progress and get better. So definitely take the leap if you've been thinking about it.
Do you have any other advice to add, Lisa, to people considering joining?
Feel the fear and do it anyway, which is what I think we tell each other a lot in our club, because everyone feels that little bit of fear when it comes to public speaking. It's never, ever going to go away, but you just got to do it anyway.
Yeah, very good. Now I'm going to throw in a couple more questions. Something special is happening this week. I just wondered, do you know what it is with regard to Toastmasters? This is your table topic.
Conference.
That's right. It's the International Convention, we call it, International Convention, which was supposed to happen in where?
Paris.
Paris. Yes. We were supposed to be in Paris this week celebrating the International Convention, but instead, because of that nasty little virus, it's all online. But that, you always find a positive out of a negative. The positive for that is that every one of us has the opportunity to log in to the international business session, to see the voting process, to listen to the candidates, and to watch the World Championship of Public Speaking. So I have to ask you now, both of you, Lisa first, have you got plans to log into any of the international convention?
I do actually. I did see the time conversion, so I will be asleep at 12 a.m. in the morning. But some of them I was looking at the speeches, the international speeches later in the series. No, definitely. I would definitely wanting to see some of our speakers go up there. I think I saw one from New Zealand. Am I correct?
Yes, our region is being represented by a speaker from New Zealand. Yep.
Beautiful. Yeah, no, I did see that one, so I was keen to look at that one.
That's excellent.
But
yeah. What about you, Taryn? Have you earmarked any of the sessions to watch?
Yeah, so I have registered, and we've also got, as Lisa said, the sort of time schedule and put it into our time as well. So we've figured out which one we can watch without having to stay up very late. And I've also heard that we can actually replay it for 24 hours, I believe.
Yes, I believe it will be on replay. Yep.
And this will be the first time ever that our club has actually attended. Not that we're attending in Paris or in person, but it will be a really good introduction to it. So in the future, we can go overseas. And
it will give you the incentive to perhaps earmark that, because if COVID allows it, it'll be in Paris next year instead of this year. And it is a wonderful opportunity. So, an opportunity for everyone to watch it. But of course, I think by the time our interview is published, the Paris convention, the online convention will be over. But never mind, ready for Paris next year. But look, thank you so much for your time. I'm just thrilled that you have come on and talked about your experiences, and I hope your experiences have motivated someone else to think carefully about, is Toastmasters for me? And don't just think about it, get in and do it. Thank you very much, Lisa and Taryn.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you for tuning in to Members First. We hope you enjoyed the show and will return again in the future. Bye for now.